ready?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Welcome to episode 2 of Heavy Metal Horror Show. Today.
Yeah! I'm sorry. Good. I got excited.
That's what I'm talking about.
I got excited. It happens.
Today we're going to talk about my personal favorite band.
Typo negative.
Well, here we are again.
The almighty Typo.
Yeah, the almighty Typo.
Mm-hmm.
First time I heard this band, I was 15 years old, riding around the French Quarter, and a friend of mine had it on cassette tape, and he was playing it, and I was like, what the hell is that? That is the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
And ever since that moment, like I went back, to the albums before, and I've listened to every album since. It's like, this band is, for me, the greatest band that ever existed.
Yeah.
I know you've been a fan for a long time too.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah, definitely. Same situation. Like a friend of mine made me a tape, and it was actually, like, we'll get into it, but it was, I didn't know which was which, because I think it was, like, one side was Origin of the Feces and the other was Slow, Deep, and Hard.
Uh-huh.
And I was listening to it, and one day I realized, it's like, wait, like I was just singing this song on the other side, and
right,
I was like,
right.
so some of the songs were the same, they're just like re-recorded.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into some of the facts and the background history on some specific recordings of those records. So
yeah.
Well,
they got started in 1990, and they went all the way to 2010, and they really left a mark on the genre. So everybody has a different opinion about it, but I almost think that they created that gothic metal genre because they made it so prevalent, in my life, and they were just so big at the time. But they're known for their haunting melodies and really dark but sobering lyrics. Some of the songs, and Peter Steele's baritone voice is unmatched by anyone else. I mean, his voice was amazing.
Yeah.
And they really did blend elements of doom metal, gothic rock, alternative rock, to create punk rock. Yeah.
It's so crazy. All the things that they mixed.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like if you hear a drum tone, if you hear a guitar start, it's Typo from the beginning.
Like that.
Like, it's just.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just amazing.
They also have really atmospheric stuff too.
Yeah.
They even put a sitar in one of the songs.
Yeah.
Like if somebody told me I'm going to play goth music, but I'm going to put a sitar in there, I would think they're nuts.
Oh yeah, dude. As heavy as it is, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but as heavy as like October Rust is, atmospheric. Since you brought that up, it's like such a romantic album too.
It really is. Yeah.
It's heavy, but it's like you can hang out and never mind.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. Well, the most awesome. So they had 7 studio albums, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
That many.
Yeah. Well, plus they have other things too that they've done, like live recordings and things like that. But but the 7 studio albums were really awesome. So the first one was released in 1991. It was called Slow, Deep, and Hard, and then in 1992 it was Origin of the Feces, which is really cool because well, it's deceiving too because the first time I heard it, I was convinced that it was a live studio, live album, right?
Yeah.
Like they were in concert and they were just talking to the crowd, like being really, like they were being Typo negative, like to the crowd. And then it wasn't until like a year or 2 later I realized that they all did it in the studio.
Yeah.
And they intentionally made it, feel like it was a live recording.
Yeah.
They did it so well too.
Yeah, they actually there was one of the songs on that album, and I know you know the song, but they just stopped playing in the middle of the song. Peter's like, hold up, and he's like, be quiet, I gotta talk to this guy.
Wait, man, try to talk to this guy here.
Comes back and he's like, we gotta leave the club because we got a call.
You're gonna have to leave love because you just gotta
Digging into that at some point, and apparently, so that's supposed to be like you can't really hear everything that's going on at that point in the album or in the song, but apparently they were trying to mimic having like a bomb scare at the venue.
Oh yeah.
And it's something to do with apparently there was a show in Europe or something that they had played where something similar must have happened or whatever, and they were trying to recreate that on the album or whatever for that particular song.
Wow.
You know,
That's
so it's a little murky on the exact facts of what happened, but
yeah.
you know, that's I thought that was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
You know, to be somebody who's, when you listen to their music, it's like it's so. I mean, you read the lyrics, you listen to it, it's like 50-50, like serious and like, you know, just joking. Like he's such a comedian in his lyrics. Like he's just got that style.
Yeah.
But yeah, just listening to it, I don't know. It's just, I just love that style. Like as serious as it is, they took their sophomore album and was like, let's just have fun with it.
Yeah.
And pretend like we're playing live. You know,
it's so beautifully flawed, I'll say.
Yeah.
Because they never tried to be perfect or really refined or anything like that. They were just like, this is who we are. This is what we do. Like it or not. Like it or not, we don't care.
Yeah.
So, and it's awesome.
We don't care.
1, 2, 3.
I mean, they say it in the songs.
Yep, that's right.
It's awesome.
Well, the third album, Bloody Kisses, was released in 1993. That's the first album I heard.
Yeah, same.
And that album actually went platinum. And I mean, a goth metal album that went platinum. I mean, that's pretty
That's huge,
awesome.
you
That's
know?
huge. Yeah.
In the early 90s.
Yeah. And then October Rust was released in 1996. And, you know, a lot of people, well, some people criticize this album for being a little bit too soft on some of the songs, but it really showed a versatile side of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They played a little bit more, you know, the keys sort of like led a lot of the songs. But, I mean, they have one of my favorite songs on that album, Wolf Moon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's melodic. It's a little bit slower, but it's really, it's still heavy, yet like it's just full. It sort of engulfs you when you listen to it. You know what I mean? It's just an incredible song.
Yeah, dude, that album start to finish, you know, it's a masterpiece in you know, in my mind and lots of minds. You know, it's start to finish. I don't care like what some people might think about it. You know, that goes back to the romantic thing that I was saying. You know, it's softer, it's more melodic, but the lyrics on that, you know, like if you dig into it, it's some of it's just like so off the wall and so funny.
Yeah.
But it sounds so serious and so romantic.
Yeah.
But when you look behind it, it's like, Jesus, are you really singing about
Are you really
this
saying
stuff,
that?
dude? It's, you know, it's great. I just love how they did that.
Yeah. It's an amazing album. And then in 1999, World Coming Down came out. I mean, it was like a doom metal album, you know.
Yeah.
It was an amazing album, and I remember listening to it one Halloween a long time ago. The song where they say Halloween, like in the song.
Yeah.
What's the name of that song?
Halloween
Hallows
in
Eve.
Heaven.
Halloween in heaven. Halloween in heaven. Oh,
Yeah, but they have that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they had one called Hallows Eve too,
Yeah.
where like he sings Hallows Eve, like that. Well, Kenny does anyway. But it's just a fantastic album. And then in 2007, Dead Again came out, and that was the last, you know, that was the final album that the band, you know, was able to put out until frontman, you know, Peter Steele and bassist passed away in 2010.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, unfortunately, but
yeah.
you know, it's kind of a, you know, I obviously we're going to focus more on what they were able to accomplish in the, you know, the 2 decades that they were a band.
Yeah.
You know, it sucks to get into it, and we won't spend too much time, I don't think, about it. But it was like up in the air. It wasn't like drug related, as far as I know. It was like
no, it wasn't.
It was like I've heard things about it being like a heart failure issue, and then later on, I was digging into it again, and it was like somebody said they started saying that it was like complications of like a diverticulitis.
That's what I read.
Like
too.
he went septic or whatever.
Yeah.
From probably being stubborn and not getting himself checked out.
Right. He could be with us today if he just would have taken the time to take care of himself.
Yeah.
It's truly
health
sad.
is important. So
Yeah.
go to the doctor.
I sort of got this out of order a little bit. Life is Killing Me came out in 2003, and that was a really good album as well. It had some, like we spoke about earlier, some depressing sort of sobering lyrics in it. But it was a really good album, start to finish. I listened to it, a lot.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic album. But yeah, it was, the whole discography. I could literally listen to the whole thing, and I don't think they have a bad song. I don't know. There's no song that I could say from Typo Negative that I hate,
right?
Or we don't want to skip when I'm listening to an album.
I was gonna say you almost never skip a song. It's like you put on the album and then you just leave it alone, let it do its thing.
Yeah, let it do its thing. Yeah.
There's not a lot of bands that you can say that you can do that too, and not just one album. It's like first album to the last album. You can just let them play.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
No, I agree. I agree completely. Typo Negative's ability to just fuse, the darkness with the humor and and romance and social commentary. It really set them apart, and just the aesthetic, that they didn't even mean to present, in all their albums and in live performances. It's just incredible because it's so authentic. They weren't trying to mimic anyone because no one was like them. They just came out, they did their thing, and a lot of people just loved them for it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Yeah. The man himself.
The man himself. He's with us today. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So now, did you want to say anything else?
No, not really on
We
that.
didn't have this scripted. We just kind of talk.
Yeah, got a couple notes and then we're just winging it, having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's is what it is.
So now it's time for the Did You Know section.
Uh-oh. All right. Wait, that's not the right music. I don't know. What's the Jeopardy theme music? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll put that in later. So Typo Negative's name was inspired by the blood type Typo Negative, reflecting their fascination for dark themes and immortality, and that was really evident in their music. So that's where they got the name from. But I think the original name was like Sub-Zero, something like that, before they even came up with the name Typo Negative. But yeah, they landed on that because of their, and
there was I want to say there was like maybe another name too.
Really,
but I don't know if it was that or if it was Sub-Zero. And then they changed the name because it was like there was already another band with that name, and it was kind of like a legality type thing.
Huh.
But
if you know, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please do.
So before Typo Negative, Peter Steele, singer and bassist, was in a band called Fallout. I think everyone knows he was in a band called Carnivore, but it was later I found out that he was in a band called Fallout. And he was probably like in his mid 20s at that time, and it had a really punk oriented sound. You can find it on YouTube, Fallout, one word. And it was a really awesome band and really ahead of its time as well. Now the recordings aren't refined or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it because you could hear Peter's voice through it.
So they were like a little rough around the edges.
A little rough around the edges, but really awesome. And in the 90s, he also dabbled in modeling and was in a magazine or two.
What?
Yeah.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. I'm
pretty
sorry.
much.
I'm sorry. Can't take me nowhere.
I can't. Did you know that the song Black Number One on the Bloody Kisses album was partly inspired by Peter Steele's tumultuous relationship with his girlfriend? That song's based on his girlfriend.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a really emotionally driven creature, Peter Steele, in his private life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So are you trying to tell me Peter Steele was like the goth metal version of Taylor Swift? Is that what you're saying right now?
I think it's a sin to compare those two.
You didn't really think about that.
I'm gonna forget you said that. If you still want to be friends.
I'm sorry.
We don't mention her name in this studio. Sorry.
Lord, I apologize.
Oh man, it's gonna take me a minute to get over that.
It's gonna be all right. Take a moment, collect yourself. Going back to the fact that they have with the previous album gone platinum.
Yeah.
And that tells you something like how great a band must be to have very little radio play, where there's typically like a format or a formula for radio.
Yeah.
You know, and to be able to go platinum and gold, you know, with multiple records and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, having 8-minute songs, you know, it's awesome. Like,
Man.
you know, not many bands can say that they've done that, you know.
You're right about that. Not many bands could say that they've done a lot of things that Typo Negative.
True.
Yeah.
True.
One thing I didn't know, it's funny how, you know, an underground band like Typo Negative could sort of be pushed into the mainstream media. You know, somebody hears it and they really like it, so they put it on something that is mainstream, and then everybody kind of knows about them after that.
I'm trying to remember your boy's name. He's this guy, man. What was his name? He's an actor. He was in the video. He was in like School for Scoundrels with what's his name? Josh Heater.
I don't know.
But anyway, this guy was hilarious in the video. He's in there. He's like dressing up like Michael Jackson and Marilyn Monroe. And,
Okay.
you know, while they're singing "I Don't Want to Be Me," and I wish I could remember the dude's name. I'm looking at him right now. I'm trying to find it. But we can come back to it. Apologies to your boy.
But yeah, you know, I think Typo Negative will, you know, forever be, you know, my favorite band, and they just, you know, it's nostalgia, it's the sound itself, it's the versatility, it's just, oh God, I can't express like how much I love that band.
Yeah.
And always have. You found it?
Yeah, it's Dan Fogler.
I don't know who that is.
Really? That's that dude. He was in The Walking Dead, like towards the later seasons.
Okay.
He was in Fanboys. I don't know if you've seen that, where
No.
they're like Star Wars fanatics and they're trying to get to like a convention, and they
No.
meet up with some Star Trek fan people,
know
and you can
what you're
imagine
talking
how that
about right
went.
now.
No, man. I mean, come on,
I
man.
thought I knew you.
You don't. Nobody does.
Nobody does.
I don't want to be me.
You're an enigma.
That's what they say.
An onion.
An onion.
I think that makes sense.
Whoa.
You have a lot of layers.
You gonna cry? Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, I could right now.
Yeah.
Show's a disaster.
Going off of the rails. Speaking of, you know, Ozzy, congratulations to Ozzy finally being inducted into the.
It's about freaking time.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What is that? Hard Rock? What was it?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
It escaped me for a moment, but
It happens.
I watched a little bit of that the other night, man. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty
It was,
cool.
You know,
Yeah.
finally, like as a solo artist, you know, and I mean, he's been through so much. He's been around so long.
Well, it was cool, and everybody made, you know, everybody did a decent job, right? But it's so off-putting to hear other people sing Ozzy songs.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the only person who could sing those songs.
Yeah, it's like Peter Steele. Like it's so
Yeah.
hard to find somebody.
Yeah.
There are a few people recently who have like gotten really close.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Ozzy, it's like they did great jobs, but it's like like you said, it just doesn't
Yeah.
sound right. Like
Yeah.
there's so much character to his voice
Yeah.
that like you obviously it's there or he wouldn't be who he is, I guess. But
Right.
but you don't realize it until you hear other amazing singers, like singers that you know that I love and that a lot of us are
Yeah.
you know have been into for a long time, like Maynard and
Oh God, Tool. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah.
yeah, and then you know, like
He was
Jelly
so-
Roll got up there, and I can't say I've been into him forever because he's kind of new
Yeah.
within the last few years, but even he's again, just like last episode, we're kind of doing this, but who cares? He seems like such an awesome dude to hang out with.
He would be.
But I know a couple of people who know him, and they're
Uh-huh.
like, yeah, he's exactly like he seems
That's
he
awesome.
would be, you know, and he's so thankful to be where he is. So congratulations to him as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
living the dream. But anyway,
That's awesome.
get back on track.
Yeah. I mean, everybody. You know, it goes
Damn
to like
rails on a crazy train. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like listening to everyone sing Ozzy songs. Everyone. You know, they were just out of their element.
Yeah.
You know, but they did a good job. But it's not Ozzy. You know, and,
Yeah.
and that's how you know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And even now, like, it always amazed me, especially the last like couple of like maybe decade or so. Like he's still releasing albums. You know how? Like
I don't know.
he's like, if you listen to him, it's like he kind of has trouble having conversations and
Yeah,
stuff. But
yeah.
you give him a microphone and some music, and it's like he's
Yeah.
in the 70s again, dude.
Yeah. If I ever meet him, I'll just have him sing to me so we can
Yeah.
talk. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, one of the most awesome metal icons in the whole world. You know.
Yeah, I saw in the late '90s. I went to go see Life of Agony and Megadeth at House of Blues,
Mm-hmm.
and Dave Mustaine was telling a story between songs about he was at a show or something, and he was somewhere, and somebody had I think it was like a kid and his mom, you know, and the mom was like telling him something about like don't listen to him or whatever, like why are you listening to this devil music music or whatever.
Uh-huh.
He's like the devil, something like that, you know.
So,
And Dave Mustaine was like, it's like all I could do was like look at her and say, lady, everybody knows I'm not the devil. Ozzy's the devil. You know? And then they kicked into whatever song it was. But
wow.
but I mean, of course, the story was better when he told it. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember something from the '90s. You know?
I don't remember what I ate yesterday, so
Yeah,
I
and
yeah.
I was kind of I was really disappointed because I've always been a Life of Agony fan.
Yeah.
Especially at that time because I had just like kind of learned about him within those last couple of years at early or mid to late '90s, and believe it or not, I showed up late and missed Life of Agony.
Sad. It's sad. It's just sad.
But and no discredit to him, I guess, but in my defense, I wasn't quite as concerned about being there because Whitfield Crane from Ugly Kid Joe was singing for him at the time.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like, the full band.
Not
so,
the same. Yeah, not
yeah.
the same. Yeah.
So anyway,
That's all good.
that's my story.
Well, seen any good horror movies lately? We need to talk about one.
Yeah, but before we get to the horror stuff, I got a couple did you knows.
Do you?
I sure do.
Well, ask away.
I got a book of good ideas.
Well, let me hear it.
So did you know, and I know you do know, did
I hope
you
I know.
know Mr. Kenny Hickey, guitarist for Typo Negative,
Mm-hmm.
has some other projects in his repertoire.
Repertoire.
What a weird word. So, and I know you know this because you actually introduced me to one of them, and they were called Seventh Void.
Yes.
And that was
They
what was the
rock,
name?
man.
Oh man, I was gonna say September Sun, but that's a typo song. But there's something else about September, and it's been a while since I've listened to Seventh Void, but they were really, really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Really good.
Yeah. And currently, he's he's also in a band with Johnny from Typo. So it's Kenny Hickey, Johnny from Typo, and then Kirk and Todd from Crowbar. You know, and it's so currently the name is I Am, so it's like EYEAM.
Yeah.
They're on Corpse Paint Records. I did see something recently where they are trying to come up with a new name for whatever reason.
Really? Okay.
But I don't know if they ever landed on anything. So I don't know.
It's awesome to see those guys jamming together.
Yeah,
It's
hell
so
yeah,
cool,
dude.
man.
I mean, like
Love it.
some of our biggest influence, you know, from the '90s.
Yeah, Crowbar.
Even earlier, like you know, the Slugs and Crowbar before the Crowbar. You know, and back in the day, jamming with bands like Tungsten and all the Showmet Metal.
Shout out to Al.
Yeah, Coach Al. But yeah, yeah, it's awesome. And if you listen to the our intro music for the show, it's definitely like New Orleans sludge.
Yep. He wrote that. Badass guitar player.
But yeah, I would love to see I Am. I hope they play somewhere near here. It would just be awesome to see.
It would be really cool.
We didn't get to see Typo Negative, so that would be kind of like a closest thing, you know, to going to see, you know, Kenny and you know, those guys on stage together.
We're going if they.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
We're gonna go.
And it's got to be fun, like, you know, just to be in a room with those guys writing a song would just be so awesome. Man.
It would be.
You know. Also, did you know that Kenny also within the last year or so has released a signature chorus pedal?
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw an ad for it.
Oh yeah.
And I want it so bad.
Yeah, it sounds great, man. Like his chorus tone is like it's heavy chorus, but they really nailed it with this signature pedal that you can find. It's like on JessupAmps.com.
Okay.
JESSUPS.
Okay.
Amps.com.
Man.
I would love to get one day. You know.
Yeah,
but,
me too.
But in the meantime, I think I'm going to mess around with some software and different things that I can play around with to try to mimic it.
Yeah.
So
it'd be cool to have though. I mean, it's from them, you know.
Yeah, definitely. We were speaking a little bit earlier about Life of Agony. Did you know that Sal, the earlier drummer from Typo Negative, also played with Life of Agony?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, he was with them from like '89 to '94. I guess like a full-fledged member of Life of Agony. I mean, a Typo Negative, and then Life of Agony was with from like '92 to 2017.
Yep.
And he was on, I think, pretty much every album except Soul Searching Sun. And I don't know if I don't think he's done anything like with the most recent releases from them on Napalm Records. But yeah, if you listen to the drum tracks, you know, I guess, you know, coming from, I'm not a drummer, but I love drums and I pay attention to stuff like if you listen to Life of Agony, you can definitely tell that it's the same drummer.
Oh yeah.
You know, from early Typo.
I can tell.
You know.
Yeah.
And then Joey Z, the guitar player from Life of Agony, was in Carnivore with Peter. You know.
That's right.
At some point, you know.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, definitely check out Carnivore if you're a Typo Negative fan and you didn't know about Carnivore. Check them out. Also, Fallout is really good as well. So and Life of Agony, especially like the River Runs Red album.
Yeah.
That album's amazing, start to finish, just like Typo stuff. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I could listen to it from first song to last song. Easy.
Oh yeah.
So just good stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, and the only other thing I have for Typo, you know, you spoke about one of your favorite songs being Haunted from October Rust.
Yeah.
Everything Dies from World Coming Down is like one that hits home for me.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of a home run song. Obviously, it's called "Everything Dies," so obviously it's a dark song.
Yeah.
But like the music is well written. The melodies are just so big. Like it's just huge song, you know. And,
It really is.
and I listened to it at a time in my life when the first time I paid attention to that song was like, oh man, you know, like overwhelmed. But yeah, just a very awesome song.
It's a great song.
You know, there's many others that I love, but right now that one, you know, stands out.
Yeah. It is an awesome song. It's hard to pick a favorite from Typo Negative.
Yeah.
You know, once you get into it and you really, you know, appreciate everything they've done and the versatility that they offer in each album, and even within one, you know, each individual album.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing what they were able to do, and they were just themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They just did the work, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I guess they had to be on a label that just let them run wild, you know, do what you do, you know.
I don't think they would have had it any other way.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of them, you know.
Yeah.
And that's, if you notice, that's bands like, when was their last album?
2007.
Yeah, and now here we are, 2024, talking about it. You know, like, I think those bands are the ones that kind of stand the test of time when it's like, you know, just give us the studio, let us do what we do. Let us do what we love.
Yeah.
And this is what you get, you know, like 7 albums and decades and decades later, you know, people still talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's October, you know, for me, it's always been synonymous with Typo Negative, you know.
Yeah.
Just because of that dark vibe, you know. I mean, when we first got into them, we were like, yeah, these dudes are like real vampires, you know, like mid 90s and stuff. Like they think they're vampires.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't know much about it back then. But yeah, it's always been relatable to me with like October and horror.
Same
stuff, you know.
Yeah, what better band to discuss in October, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And October Rust, you know.
Right.
Like one of their most well-written albums.
Yeah, very well written.
You know.
Yeah. So, we should probably talk about a scary movie too, right?
I guess we need to stop talking about Typo at some point.
Yeah, I can go on and on and on and on.
Yeah. Today, Junior.
I've seen Terrifier 1 and 2, but not 3 yet.
Yeah.
And what's strange is that, well, what's awesome in a way is that, you know, it was independently produced. I think they had a budget of like $35,000 for the first Terrifier, and it ended up making $340,000.
Damn.
Yeah, and then for Terrifier 2, they had a $250,000 budget, and it ended up making $15 million.
Damn.
And then it gets better.
For being an independent.
Yeah, an independent horror movie. Like that's never happened before as far as I know.
Yeah.
And then the budget for Terrifier 3 was $2 million. Guess how much that one made? The budget was $2 million.
Oh man, I don't know. What did 2
$15 million.
15 million? Well, I'd say at least 20.
They made $30 million. They doubled it.
Damn.
Yeah. So far.
Wow.
So far. It's still like
it's still
verdict's
in
out,
theaters, right?
I think it is. Yeah, but isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I mean, it just came out October, what was it, 11th? I think it was 11th, maybe 4th.
I know it was
11th.
this month. Yeah.
I still haven't seen it, unfortunately, but
we need to go watch that one.
Yeah.
But
That's insane.
now that I know you've seen 1 and 2. But yeah, I mean the character development they're not really heavy with, you know, character development or like plots or anything like that. But if you just want to be scared to death watching something and have a difficult time looking at some of the scenes,
that's the movie.
That's the movie for you. It's a franchise for you for sure.
For me, it was kind of like I don't know, man. it was like a cross between a slasher flick and like that edgy, disgusting feeling that like Saw and Hostel gave me, you know,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it was just like, I don't know, so gory and so I don't know, so yeah, I don't know what to say about it.
It's hard. It's hard to describe it until you see it.
Like the audible, like the way that they did the all right, sorry, you didn't like the movie apparently. Yeah, I think that one just turned off. But anyway, yeah, like just the sounds like make you kind of creep you out a little bit, kind of queasy. And, you know, it's like, ooh,
it's kind
are they
of
really
cool.
doing that right now?
Right. It's kind of awesome to see a central character in a horror movie that has so much charisma, and he doesn't even talk.
Yeah,
and that's one of the scary things
yeah.
about it. You know, his expressions are so big.
Yeah,
and
I've
and
got
so
that here.
evil.
Like Art the Clown never speaks.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, and it almost harkens back to like, you know, what we grew up with, like, you know, Freddy Krueger and Jason and Michael Myers. It was like that. You know, I mean, I know Jason and Michael Myers didn't speak either.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe
but it was like
it's a hint to them or something.
Yeah,
you know?
maybe so. Yeah, but he's got so much charisma without even really speaking. So it's kind of cool, you know.
Yeah.
But very, very gory.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy, like the way he interacts with people and stuff. But he is a clown.
He is a clown
and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And you know
To what?
the guy who played Art actually was a mime earlier in his life, so he like took those skills
In real life?
Yeah, he was a mime.
Did you go to the Did You Know section without telling me? You tried to sneak it in?
Did you know? Yeah,
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, you could tell with his acting, like how he's
Yeah.
you can certainly tell.
Oh yeah.
Well, he first appeared. Did you know he first appeared in a short film called The Ninth Circle, directed by Damien Leone, before becoming the full-fledged like Terrifier character.
Really?
Yeah, I need to look up the date. I should have done that before we recorded, but yeah, that was like his first appearance. It was called The
Nice.
Ninth Circle. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to check that out. I didn't know about that. I know there's an earlier one called All Hallows Eve.
Okay, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, and that's another one that's like before Terrifier 1, I guess.
So many things to watch in so little time.
Yeah. Good thing is we've got just almost forever. So,
Yeah.
you know, we'll just start crossing them off the list.
Yeah. Oh, another one of Kenny's bands is Silver Tomb.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
That one's awesome too. He did a great job in that.
Yeah.
Guitarist for Typo Negative, for those you got, you know, you all who don't know. Awesome band as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, back to it. Sorry.
Yeah, you know.
I saw a squirrel.
And he had a Silver Tomb shirt on or something?
Yeah. Yes.
Sweet.
Um,
Coolest squirrel I know, man.
well, did you know that that the Terrifier franchise relies on practical effects rather than CGI? That's why it looks so real. Because, you know, they sort of go back to like what horror movies used to be. You know, with all the, you know, the manual stuff. And that's why when certain things happen in these movies, they're just so gory and difficult to look at. It's because
That makes sense.
yeah, it's realism.
Yeah.
You can't
Wow.
you can't get that with CGI. Exactly. It means people still know CGI has really come a long way, but you still know it's CGI.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I appreciate that. There's a lot of hard work that goes into doing things the old way. The manual way. Yeah.
Speaking of the old way, you know, I guess they could have done CGI. There's a scene in there. I guess we can give it away. I don't know.
It's fine. Yeah.
Where somebody
Spoiler
gets spoiler alert. Muted if you don't want to hear it. So when the scene where the girl's getting like sawed in half,
Oh God,
and not this way,
that was hard
but
for me
like
to watch.
this way, you know, because she's hanging up by her feet.
Oh God.
And yeah, I mean, it's like he's just sawing, you know, away, and he's just like going at it or whatever. And it's, you know, blood and the sounds and stuff. It's it's gone crazy. But anyway, like they could have used CGI for that stuff.
Yeah.
But but they made a body mold of that actress, and that, obviously that's what they used for that scene.
Yeah.
But when they were making the body mold for her and she was inside of it, I guess it was taking a while and she moved around a little bit or something like that, and she got trapped in it. And yeah, so trying to make Terrifier, she had this terrifying moment where she got trapped inside the mold.
What?
And like almost ended up in the ER, you know, because it took that much to get her out or whatever. I mean,
What?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Wow. That's insane. It's so gory, in fact, that so it was reported anyway. I don't know. I can't confirm this, but I've read it all over the place that you know, according to the interwebs, they say that certain audience members in theaters either fainted or got sick. And I think this is that's like making it even more popular of a show.
yeah.
So if you have a hard time watching stuff like that, don't attempt it because it's pretty graphic, but it's extreme on purpose.
Yeah.
Just know that. If you
The thing that's crazy though is like it's got to be the way they do it and maybe the lack of CGI in it or something, because I can watch. Some people can't, but I can watch The Walking Dead, you know, start to finish as well.
It's different.
And it's like you can see people like zombies getting their head stomped in, and guts and stuff everywhere. But it's just, it's like, you know, that looks cool. But watching Terrifier, it's just like, oh, God.
It's almost too
Lord, help him. I'm sorry.
it's too real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's and actually some of the scenes were so graphic that there's some kind of discussion from what I've read online about the boundaries of horror films.
Wow.
You know, and they're like they're pushing it, you know.
They really are pushing it.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane.
But for me, it was like, it's terrifying because of those types of things, but it's not something that's going to keep me up at night.
No,
you know, it's not like psychologically, like,
yeah,
you know,
it's just this crazy freaking clown like running around killing people for no reason. It just feels like it.
Yeah,
it's pretty much what it is. Like,
right. Yeah, so there's like no backstory. It's like, why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah, but it's actually funny.
Yeah.
In a really weird, sick way.
And I kind of like that because so many movies over the last couple of decades seem like they're focusing so much on backstories and even like the Joker, like with Joaquin Phoenix and stuff. It's like it was very, very well done. Like I feel like Joaquin Phoenix is an amazing actor.
He is,
and he did an incredible job. But I don't think I'm going to see part 2. I don't care about it because it's a musical.
Yeah.
But part 1, as well as it was done, it's too, again, like we talked about in the last episode, it's just too serious for me. It took all the fun factor out of the Joker.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes you just need to not think about things and just be entertained.
Yeah.
And if that's what you want, this is a good series for you. You know, well, if you want to be entertained and really scared.
Yeah. Grossed out a little bit.
It's great. Yeah, you don't need to think, you just watch it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like
so,
early Evil Dead kind of, you know, vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's cool though.
Well, I think that's all we have for today. You have anything else to?
Yeah, actually,
you do.
I do, as a matter of fact. What? I'll tell you what now. So the director and special effects coordinator, if you didn't know, they were trying to come up with ideas for, you know, these scenes that we're talking about. That's like off the wall and a little disgusting, a little queasy, if you will. So they read a bunch of like old medieval torture books.
Did they?
Yeah, to come up with ideas.
Jeez.
So that's how they came up with some of this crazy stuff, you know.
Nothing new under the
It's
sun.
insane.
Right?
Yeah.
God.
Yep. And then Jenna, she plays the character of Tara. She decided that she wanted to stay tied up between takes, between scenes. She was like, she was bound and tied up, and she wouldn't allow them to untie her between takes because she wanted to keep herself in that like freaking out, like in
that headspace.
claustrophobic, yeah, like kind of vibe. So that comes across too, So
Yeah.
so it makes it make sense,
You could see it like when you watch it, like she's freaked out, like she's not comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's neat.
Awesome movies.
Yeah.
I'm just covering my microphone here. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Yeah, they were definitely something, man.
Yeah. So check it out. Definitely check out Typo Negative if you haven't before, especially in October.
Yeah.
And go check out Terrifier if you could stomach it.
Yeah. October, episode 2. I guess we can dub this one TNT.
TNT.
Because it's dynamite! Typo, Terrifier.
Well, this concludes episode 2. Thanks everybody for watching. Please like it, subscribe if you like the show, and if you have any ideas for any new content in the future, please comment below.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much for checking it out.
Yeah. Awesome.
Tell your friends about it.
Yeah. Spread the word.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to some more recommendations of things to check out. So
yeah,
let's do it.
Awesome. Thanks everybody.
Cool. Peace.
Peace.